The bodies of the two children were left in the back of a car for over a year. The girl had been there for so long her body had started to liquefy. The 28th of July 2021, a humid night in Baltimore County. A patrol officer pulls over a speeding Acura on Palutsky Highway. Behind the wheel sits 33-year-old Nicole Johnson. It is at first a routine encounter, the kind of mundane interaction that populates the midnight shift. But as the officer approaches the vehicle, the air changes. A cloying, heavy scent of rot hangs around the car, thick enough to taste. When the officer informs Johnson that her plates are fake and the car must be towed, she doesn't panic. She remains eerily detached. She tells the officer, "It don't matter, I won't be here in 5 days anyway." Then she makes a request that would haunt the responding units for the rest of their careers. "I just need to get my things out of the trunk." She reaches for a clear plastic packing container and a multicoloured suitcase. As she lifts them, the officer notices maggots crawling along the luggage. He asks her to open them. Johnson's composure finally cracks. She attempts to run, but is quickly detained. The officer begins the inventory. He peels back the lid of the plastic totes. Inside, wrapped in several layers of plastic bags, are the remains of a small boy, 5-year-old Larry O'Neill. But the horror is only half revealed. Inside the suitcase, nestled in a nightmare of clinical neglect, is the body of Larry's 7-year-old sister, Joshlyn Johnson. The forensic details are staggering. Joshlyn had been dead for over a year. Investigators determined that her aunt Nicole, who had been entrusted with the children's care, had folded the girl's body into that suitcase in May of 2020. For 14 months, Johnson used that Acura as a mobile tomb. She drove to stores and visited friends while the remains of her niece liquefied in the trunk just inches from the back seat. Medical examiners revealed the true extent of the torture. At the time of their death, 7-year-old Joshlyn weighed only 1.5 stone. Her 5-year-old brother just weighed under 2 stone. They were skin and bones, their development stunted by systematic starvation. Under interrogation, Johnson admitted that in 2020 she became frustrated with Joshlyn at a motel, striking the girl so hard she hit her head and never woke up. Larry's death followed a year later, his small body placed in a bag beside his sister. Legal resolution to this depravity come years later. In August 2024, Nicole Johnson pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree child abuse, resulting in the death of a child under 13. On the 10th of February 2025, a Baltimore County judge handed down the final word. Johnson was sentenced to life in prison with all but 50 years suspended. The judge noted the pure evil of the case. A woman who lived with the stench of her own choices, a silent witness to the rotten innocence she carried behind her everywhere she went. She will likely spend the rest of her natural life behind bars, a sentence meant to reflect the weight of the 2 small lives she discarded in the dark of a trunk.